Look at that, a brand new first across the line. Jeff McKinney in the house tonight. Dennis Stauber right behind him. Big D checking in. Greg White all the way from Tejas. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and we are loading up a killer show. Jeremy Valentine, this fella built a killer chopper. That's right. Our guest tonight, Sean Axtion Jackson from Competition Distributing, getting ready to go do the East Coast proud out of Born Free. Killer motorcycle. Can't wait to talk to him about that. Everything that's going on with Comp D. Great guy to talk to. We spent some time with them up at their shop. We're going to show you guys that tonight. Mike Draco in the house. Steve Broyles in from Detroit. Good to see all you guys here. Shop Talk Sundays going live every Sunday, 9 p.m. And look, didn't I say this at the beginning of the show? If I do my job, the clock starts counting down whenever we press go on the damn show. Jeff McKinney, number one on the podium. That's right. That's right. First across the line tonight. Robin Higginbottom in the house with us. How are you? Hey, listen, man, you don't have to be another effing observer sitting there watching all these chats go on. You can get involved. Just put your questions, comments, concerns, wherever you're watching from, in the comment box there. It'll come up on our screen. As long as it's not too profane, we might even talk about it on the show. Good evening from Georgia. Georgia in the house tonight. Man, it's filling up fast. It's going to be a fantastic show tonight here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio when we go live with Shop Talk. Just 4 minutes away, Don Gilmore. I know him. Chase Rider number 22. Tim Elwood Kearns, another effing observer. That's okay. Look, you're a participate. Just like that. Boom. You're in the game. Jeff McKinney, Youngsville, PA. Out there from the neck of the woods that old Uncle Rock used to take the magazines out and deliver for us. Was that Youngsville or Youngwood? Harry Bostard in the house. Steve Broyles here. Tom Banks. Right on. It's going to be a great show. So we got a lot going on. Lots to talk about. Mark.
I don't even care.
You ready to step this thing up?
I'm in the middle of doing the design over here. Leave me alone.
Heather, Mark's playing with my Christmas present. And I don't mean that in a dirty way.
I got nothing on that one. I'm not sure which Christmas present that might be.
Doc Nestor giving us a little wave there. We love us some 84U. Facebook user. Apparently I lost my identity. I'm now just Facebook user. Hey, listen, you could use that to your advantage though.
Yes, you could.
Tony Tello Sr., Maltboro, New Hampshire, in the house.
We're heading your way, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Heading your way.
We are
Who
almost.
is Facebook user?
I don't know.
Now I'm curious. I want to know.
See, it's a neb shit trap. You just got caught.
I mean, are they in witness protection or what's going on?
Good.
Behind Rudy's Fairing, Northwest Indiana says hi. What's up, Rudy?
Olivier.
Oh yeah, right on, man. Cabana Dan in the house. Howdy from Sturgis. Mike Draco, Cincinnati. Well represented, my man. So I'm out of breath because we actually rebuilt the entire Smokeout website this week.
Oh, good Lord.
Dirty bastard.
But it's awesome. I actually think it looks better. Killer said the same thing.
If I ever find the person that hacked our site, I swear to God, the dirty, unspeakable things. Anyway, we're 2 minutes out from a great show. Don't let my hints of brutality deter you from staying tuned in.
Do we have to wait the extra 2 minutes?
We do.
Why?
2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes.
But it's 9:02. We're already late.
Mohammed Abu Akbat, home of Trenton Pork Roll here. There's so many things wrong with what you just typed there. You got to be one of our close personal friends. Oh my God.
Thank you, Poppy.
Steve Burrows, the website looks good. Hey, so listen, man, while we're getting ready to launch this show, I want to remind you guys, do your part. Sharing is caring. We appreciate it. It helps us get our message out further and further all the time. Shop Talk, America's #1 and favorite motorcycle entertainment program, going live every Sunday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That's how we roll. East Coast time, Eastern Standard. Eastern. Mike Woodyshek. Hey, I heard you're already up there too. We're on our way. We're coming. We're coming, New Hampshire. Get ready.
I know, you guys gotta wait.
Laconia
Wait
is
for
going
us.
on. 50 seconds. The countdown continues. Just enough time for you to get a drink, kick back and relax, and get ready. We're going live with Shop Talk in just 42, 40, 39,
You know, usually 5
38.
minutes just doesn't seem like enough. In this case, it's way too much.
It's just because I let your microphone on and we're talking a lot. Bill Stevens is in the house. Mike Draco says I rock, and it's time for us to get this one out of the station up onto the tracks. Let's go live with this week's installment of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen, with Cycle Source Magazine and now Grease and Gears TV. Love to say that. Love the way it sounds after, 15 years of me shooting my stupid mouth off about someday we're going to have a thing called Grease and Gears TV. And poof, now it is. And oh my God, is that a lot of work.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Everything is. I actually thought I was getting a flat tire today. I blamed you. Just to let you know.
So real quick here, I have to mention a couple things. Chris, just say when, and I'll ship you another pork roll. Dude, there is never a bad time to ship a pork roll. So
I thought for sure you were going to go, when?
when.
When?
Just say
When.
when.
Just say
when.
when.
You're a dandy if you do.
Dandy.
Mike
What,
Woody
we
Shack
watch
leaving
Fifth
tomorrow.
Element again, or what?
Chris No checking in from the new restaurant at Christmas Island. Dude, what is it like? Did they ruin the steakhouse? What's the
I
deal?
have to say, I miss our little island house.
I know.
When we used to go work up in Laconia, the people that we worked for rented us our own little island behind the Christmas
Yeah.
Island. It was so
we had our
cool.
own
Greatest
sign made
place
and
ever.
everything.
So sad.
Chad Hudson watching from North Carolina. What's up?
Mad
Rob Nussbaum,
Stork.
congratulations. Mad Stork in the house. What's up, buddy? Doc Nestor, Stephen Nestor, listen in. Looking good, Heather. It's
Thank
weird.
you,
I'm
Mike.
more excited for smoke out in Sturgis.
That's so awesome. We love
So,
you, T.
hey,
we love you, Monkey.
Listen, speaking of
Spooky.
Professional Monkey and Mrs. Monkey, they just launched a brand new video tonight. I can't wait to see what it's talking about because it says huge announcement. We're gonna start down the vintage Harley Davidson path.
We're
And
gonna have to go watch it.
I know.
Unfortunately, we were getting ready.
we were getting ready for the
our
show, so we couldn't tune in to see what he's talking about. But dude went chopper this year. He's going
I
vintage now.
know.
My man,
He's taking over the world. He's gonna rule the world.
Multiple hats.
right? Many hats.
It's
Many
amazing.
hats. So, hey, you guys have heard us talking about Grease and Gears TV. I'm going to run a quick roll just to fill you in a little bit more on
Pork
it
roll?
because we are getting pork roll. Did you say
Quick pork roll? Now I'm hungry.
We're getting closer
Real
and
nice.
closer on launch date for it. And when I say that, we could have the website up and running now, but I think it's kind of stupid to do it without the TV app so that you can just go to Roku or Fire
We're
Stick.
gonna hard launch it all at
Yeah.
once. We want everything to be like a bam,
Well, bam.
well, bam.
But for now, let's give you a little exposure to Grease and Gears TV. Hey, welcome to Grease and Gears TV, the home of two-wheel entertainment. For a lot of you, this is going to be your first time here, and we welcome you. Want to take a minute and take you around the network and show you what Grease and Gears is all about. Grease and Gears is a new experiment in a different way to deliver media, especially for motorcycle consumers. This is going to be the place where you can come and find a one-stop shop approach towards all of your favorite content providers, all in one place, 24/7, and you can watch it right from your couch. Just pick up that remote through Roku TV or Amazon Fire Stick, and you're tuned in to Grease and Gears. So let's talk about some of the programming. Everything that you would expect for a motorcycle enthusiast. There's tech. We have motorcycle racing with stuff from Flat Track Fight Club and the BRL guys. We're going to have drag racing on there. Some of the coolest custom bikes that are in the scene today, built by some of the top builders around the country. Programming from the motorcycle cannonball and the cross-country chase, along with individualized programming that takes people on a ride with the author. Great interviews with some of the big names of the industry today too, and we give you a nice behind-the-scenes look of what really makes them tick. All of this along with our regular weekly shows like Shop Talk and the Pirouette's Chopper History programs that you've come to enjoy. So take some time, look around. There's a lot of stuff to take in on Grease and Gears TV. Oh yeah, and here it is.
Very cool.
Grease and Gears TV, little behind the scenes look. We just put up today Shop Hoppin to Competition Distributing. I'm going to let you guys see a little trailer on that tonight. But like I said, you know, we've been telling you guys for a while that what you were going to start seeing on this show and the rest of our social media are shorts. Last week, we showed you an abbreviated version of Cabana Dan's What's in Your Garage. It is up on Grease and Gears TV, all 24 glorious minutes of it right now. And tonight we're going to be showing you a short on the Shop Hop to Competition Distributing, but all told, that's like a 20-minute program in itself too. So
very exciting. And also, like, I know you mentioned Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. There's also going to be apps for Apple and Android as well.
Yeah.
That you'll be able to go right to your handy dandy little
I'm just
best
so
friend.
I'm so
Your
excited.
best friend.
I'm so excited to, like, it's been so long that we've been talking about the TV thing that I get wound up about the TV part, and that's all I want to talk about. I keep forgetting that yes, we paid for the construction of those two entirely other app platforms.
Right. So Rob, we're not putting the link out to the public yet. We're gonna release everything all together as one big package. So once we do launch it, you'll be able to get all the apps that you want. So we really kind of want to go big that way. So we're not going to put that out quite yet, but stay tuned. We'll keep showing
Believe
you
it or
some
not,
updates.
we still have a couple weeks of stuff that we're loading into it. And that I want to be clear about something too. This is not going to be Chris and Mark and Heather TV. This is not going to be Cycle Source TV. We're really going out of our way to try to work with a lot of other content creators so that we can make a single stop place for everybody to put their content. You know, we already have, like, Kevin Baxter's on here, Josh Allison is on here, you know, stuff from Jason Sims, stuff from Rob Bitos, you know.
Maybe Professional and Mrs. Monkey.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Please. No.
And Greg White says, sounds like a huge undertaking. It absolutely has been. And I have to say this right off the bat. If you saw at the very top of this, it says Grease and Gears powered by Dennis Kirk. We cannot say thank you to them enough. This has been a dream of ours for a long time. And we met with the people at Dennis Kirk and told them about it. And they got behind us. They see the vision. They see the value in having a community centered media outlet like this. So thank you very much to everybody over there.
They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. We have so much faith.
Professional Monkey. I just tried to buy it.
Wait.
Damn it. Don't put the link up.
So real quick, Victoria Bliss Vicky, you are single and searching in the wrong damn place.
Oh, right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Can you cook?
Bye-bye.
Listen, What else can you do?
How do you feel? How do you feel about rotating the tires on my truck?
So Mohammed says,
Ooh,
is Greasing Gears
Mopo.
available on Roku?
It will be, yes.
Will absolutely be available on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick.
And Apple and Android.
And very soon, I suspect, after that, we'll get to the rest of the smart TV platforms. But what we found out in all of our study here to do this stuff, do you realize that between Roku and Amazon, they make up over 80% of the U.S. market of all smart TV? So pretty good.
Mike Draco, we are actually working with MFL to get him to do a programming. Easy Riders, I'm not so sure about. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You know, anything is always possible. You never know.
You know, you were talking about how long
83%. See, he knows.
how long, this has been going on. Could you imagine if years ago when we were at the garage, we said if there was cameras watching us, people would
Oh
see
my
us,
God,
the trouble would be in now.
dude! Some of that I got to go back and pull up. Remember the old commercial we did with your dad, with the it is your
Oh,
father's
yeah,
motorcycle, and
Yeah,
sometimes you should be glad of that.
Love that commercial.
You know, I just went past that the other day, and I pulled it and put it in our file.
So we were going through some old footage the other day, Mark, and all the way back to 2010, Chris was saying Greasing Gears TV.
Oh yeah,
So
I remember talking about this.
13 years ago.
I remember talking about this. I'm going to say I was in the house behind the pit stop, so that was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we started out with a thing back in the days of like Sarah Liberty, and we started out with a thing called Rally TV.
Rally TV, yeah.
And that was, God, that was a brutal amount of work. I used to go to the rallies with all the Rally TV staff, and my job, because I was the dumbass that could work the computer, I sat in a hotel room for the entire rally, and they would bring me dailies, and I'd sit there and I'd build the videos from the day.
I remember the on the street, dude. Some of the total shitheads we talked to.
Oh my God, Rob Nussbaum! Don't forget some of the vivid footage he sent. That's going to be the greatest part of this, man. Too, like if you consider the fact, for like 2 minutes, the motorcycle culture was the media darling, right, of pop culture, and for that amount of time, we were all over everything. But now that that's not the case anymore, and we've been losing our magazines. The magazines were always the place that held the history of this culture and all, the names and faces and everything. And as those are disappearing, we don't have all that stuff anymore because social media is like junk food. It's there for 2 minutes and then it's gone.
Well, and I think too the thing with social media is there's only so much history, history lesson that you can give in 1 minute or less.
Right.
And you're going to lose so much of that if that's all that we rely on. So
there's a couple quality things you can do in a minute or less, but that's a different show entirely. So
stop.
wrong platform.
All right, man. So hey, listen, this is Shop Talk. You're watching through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We love Dennis Kirk over here. If you're last minute like me, ass on fire trying to finish a motorcycle, there is nothing like the fact that up until like 8:30 at night you can put an order in with them and they can get that out and shipped to you tomorrow. So awesome company. We love Dennis Kirk. If you don't know what Shop Talk is, shame on you. It takes a whole minute sometimes.
A whole minute, boy. You must have been working out.
So if this is your first time tuning in, thank you. Please make sure that you put us on your alerts. Set up the whole deal.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. What is Shop Talk? It's 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Little entertainment. We do some interviews. We start the whole thing off with a little segment we call the news. The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers. Okay, we covered this right off of the bat, but it was in the pre-roll, and I'm just going to reconfirm the fact that suck it, hackers. Suck it. We got the site back, so anybody that's been looking for the Smokeout site, it's up and running. Smokeout is going to be off the effing hook this year.
Yep, and we did extend early bird special because of the ass hats, so you guys still have time to get in on those good
So
rates.
there's all kinds of news up here, man, about the events that we're doing, everything that's going on. You want to check that out.
What's the dates again?
Shut up, Mark.
I'm busy the day before that.
It's
You
not
are
even
busy
funny.
because you're going to already be there.
I have a bar mitzvah to attend.
Also want to bring you guys
Brisk.
to the attention that the folks over at BRL, our friends and neighbors at Bagger Racing League, have a brand new website. I'm actually going to post this for you guys right now because it is very well put together. You finally have a lot of media selections over there that you can check out as we all get ready to make our trek back to the motherland. For the Harley anniversary, they have a race happening just down the street. You'll want to get out there and check out the schedule for that.
Shit just went down.
No, Professional Monkey, it's not weird that you hope there's a midget again, because I don't care who you are, and especially if you've ever seen
Hey, Heather,
Brad Williams.
midget lives matter.
Right. Well, right. No, of course. Midgets make everybody happy. I'm sorry. It's a fact of life.
I think Flip says they like to be called little people.
No, I call it, he's pocket size. Flip is pocket size.
Oh, Jesus. Can we move on with the news, please? Who's running this shit?
Apparently not you.
All right.
Smalls.
This in from Motorcycle Power Sports Network or News, whichever one you want to call it. Cal Petty Charity Ride raises $1.7 million for Victory Junction. Officials with the Cal Petty Charity Ride across America have announced it raised more than $1.7 million following the 27th anniversary ride, which took place on April 29th, May 5th. Funds directly benefit Victory Junction, a camp in Randleman, North Carolina, serving children with chronic medical illnesses. Always good work they're doing over there.
So I'm super excited when I came across this. Actually, Jody Perowitz reached out to us. She was on the Kyle Petty Ride this year, and she asked if she could write an article and submit photos of this year's ride, and she's got that, and it's going to be in issue 302 that we're working on right now. So it'll actually be Jody's first article in the magazine.
That's pretty cool, right?
I'm super excited about that. I was really happy that she reached out on that. So very cool.
This in from Cycle World. Triumph Tiger 1200 GT posts Guinness World Record.
You shut your mouth.
Well, just wait. Don't get
Rider
too excited.
Even Cervantes snags greatest distance on motorcycle in 24 hours. You want to talk about the ultimate iron butt designation? Talk to five-time Enduro world champion Even Cervantes, who has just claimed the Guinness World Records title for the longest stretch on a motorcycle in one day. Helping Cervantes to that new world title was box stock Triumph Tiger 1200 GT. So it feels like the Brit brand is shouting from the rooftops. It's sort of understandable, but he's on a racetrack.
Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Loser.
When you do the math, 2,500 miles is what he did, and I mean that's still impressive. Let's give him credit for that. But on a racetrack, if I could do 100 miles an hour, well,
Scroll
yes.
up. What was his average speed?
It has to be close to 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's got to be.
High speed racing, it doesn't say, does it?
Oh, I thought it did.
But
Yeah,
24 hours, if he did 2,500 miles, it was over 100.
Yeah, that's almost.
It's at the Goering Speed Ring, right?
Not concerned about traffic, not concerned about
No.
road condition.
Yeah, no stop signs, no traffic lights.
And they said not taking anything away from it. That's a freaking task and a half. But
Rich Petoniak did the math. 104 miles per hour was his average.
look at Rich doing the math. Our own little Sheldon Cooper right there.
Well, Rich is a machinist, so they math a lot. They math well.
A lot, yeah.
They
No,
math.
yes, it's cool. You can't take it away from him, but
We will.
Yes, you can.
I can't consider
And
that
listen,
like iron
Rich
butt.
said no sleep. Like the no sleep is
Yeah.
a big deal. I've done 1,500 miles in a day.
Asleep.
I can't even tell you how many times. I can't tell you because most of those times
Yeah,
I was asleep
asleep.
for part of that.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I know that actually put a DVD player on his bike just to cross Kansas.
Kansas sucks, man. Anyone who's done that trip will understand. So this news comes in from our friends over at Fox 43.
Good point. Had to be faster than that to account for fuel stops.
Little bit of
105.
little bit of trouble
Oh, what trouble?
with the Milwaukee motorcycle manufacturer. So
Not trouble.
where's my volume?
Oh boy.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 News First at 4. I'm Evan Forrester. The company is citing a supply chain related issue as its reason for temporarily suspending vehicle assembly and shipments for 2 weeks. Fox 43's Alyssa Kratz has the latest details.
The Harley-Davidson plant in Springettsbury Township is quiet, and it will stay that way for at least the next 2 weeks. The motorcycle giant announcing it is temporarily halting all vehicle production at both its York County and Milwaukee facilities. Harley-Davidson's corporate office, as well as local dealerships, declined interviews on Thursday. The company would not say how many employees are affected, only releasing the following statement. Quote, yesterday, Harley-Davidson took the decision to suspend all vehicle assembly and shipments for a 2-week period. This decision, taken out of an abundance of caution, is based on information provided by a third-party supplier to Harley-Davidson late on Tuesday concerning a regulatory compliance matter relating to the supplier's component part. End quote. The announcement causing Harley-Davidson stock to tumble, with shares falling more than 8% Thursday to their lowest point in the last year. The temporary suspension does not impact the company's line of electric live wire bikes. Harley-Davidson tells Fox 43 it is committed to finding a solution and resolving this situation as a matter of urgency. Alyssa Kratz, Fox 43 News.
Okay, so a couple things to talk about.
Hey, you
there.
just cut off Evan Favaro.
First of all, I want to know, is the supplier in question, do they rhyme with vagina?
Oh, hey.
Oh my God. So time to buy stock. Yeah, did you catch that part?
Yes, sir.
Lowest time in over a year.
Smart man right there.
HD announced the closure where the new CVO is made right after they announced the new CVO. Seriously?
That was just what, like 2
I didn't
days
see
ago?
that. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see the closure. I just saw the CVO. Ooh.
Yep.
Doing a lot
Mark,
of math
we need
tonight.
to get you back on here and give us
do.
a State of the
Union.
Yep.
So
Get ready, kid.
lots of great stuff tonight. We're going to take a real quick break from this to look at a cool feature bike. On the other side of that, we're going to go to our guest, Sean Axtion Jackson. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
My name is Johnny Humphrey from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I have Johnny 99 Customs. The bike I have here today is actually an original Denver's frame that I got from Bill Dodge. It was something that he had in his shop for years, and when I first met him, I saw it, but it was wrecked and it needed a lot of help, and he didn't want to get rid of it. And for some reason, a few years back, he said, "I want you to do something with that frame." And I was able to save most of it, but a lot of it went away too. But I did put it back to the original specs of what I originally got. But I was able to save the neck, the axle plates, and basically the cradle. Everything else was bad. It was wrecked, was broke, bent, and it needed to be fixed. So I fixed it and brought it back. But it was an original Denver, so I couldn't let it go. It was an idea that I had, like I was just kind of wanting to bring the hard lines of the rocker boxes out and just kind of expose them a little bit. But once I drew on the lines that I was wanting to expose, became like the number one. And that's where I was in my mind. I'm like, has no one ever seen this? Like, has no one ever figured out that these are actually the number one is on these boxes? And I thought it would be a great idea to TIG weld all this on there and emboss that to where it would be, you know, raised off the box. It was a horrible idea. I think we were trying to figure it out like somewhere around 55 or 60 hours, maybe more. And it fought tooth and nail the whole way. Like it was bad. I would do it again, but it sucked. It sucked bad. It wasn't fun. I did, this time around, I have my own mid-control plates with the reservoirs. The master cylinder reservoirs are all incorporated. And they line up with each other across, like left and right side has hydraulic brake, hydraulic clutch. And if you look through the bike, both master cylinders they kind of reminded me of two handguns that you could reach down and pull up. So that was something new this time for me. The oil tank was something that I just casted this time at my in-laws foundry. It had my end caps on it, and it emulated the early Cal Products transmission case. So I started making some of those. So that was a new part for me. I still stuck with my brake caliper and rotor setup that I started using a few years back. I really like that. Other than that, I mean, it was just a lot of gas tanks handmade, handlebars, front end, like everything's, it's just a bunch of handmade stuff, but not so out of the ordinary that somebody couldn't do it. I mean, it's just a matter of how much you want it and how much effort you want to put into it. There was a lot. I mean, it was a pretty special moment. Asked to be part of the smokeout return and then to be picked for Bill's legacy. I had originally planned on riding to the smokeout because I did 20 years ago, and I had sort of started this bike to ride to the smokeout, and then when Bill picked me, I had gotten the frame from him. Like, it all just sort of like was supposed to happen that way. And this is what I ended up with. I'm happy with it. It's a beast. It's a 96, the early S&S 96-inch shovel head. The high compression one, it's not the low compression. It takes every ounce of my ass to get it going, but it's a beast. It'll stand this thing straight up. It's a handful. Almost everything, I don't ever have new stuff. Like, everything's always used. And it's that same old story where people are like, listen, I traded a pen and I got a Corvette. Like, that's how all this stuff ends up sometimes, like engine components and things for me. It's barter trade. What can I weld for you? What can I do for you? What do you got? All right, well, let me see what I got. Can we trade? Like, I still do it that way. Nothing's just like, I'm just going to go buy this or I need to go get that. Like, if it's something that I can't make, I got to barter, trade, beg, borrow. Like, that's just how it works. And it works for me. I stick with it. Sometimes it's rough, but we get through it. And I always tell everybody, like, if they see me on Instagram and they see anything that I put on there, you'll see me bitching about something. I'll bitch about it. I live for every moment of it. I live for the shitty part of it. I live for the good part of it. I like these moments coming out, seeing all my friends. But don't ever think when I'm bitching or I'm pissed off on Instagram about something that's not working out that I don't love it. I still love it. It's a curse. I tell people all the time, it's a curse. I love every ounce of it. I have two guys that I've been with for a really long time. The main guy is Keith Decker. He was big in like the mini truck scenes and sport trucking and stuff, and had feature paint jobs and stuff involved with that. And then a little later on, he brought in a friend of his, which his name's Dennis Rainier. They call him Dink. And he usually is the one that lays down the colors. And then Decker will come in and do the artwork and the nice stuff there, like as far as the artwork goes, something that we talk about, figure out. But it's always been the same guys. They know there's nothing in it for them. There's no skin on the back. They're not, other than, they painted something that I did. It was in Instagram, or if it was in a magazine or something, they get to see that. But I'm fortunate with those guys because they take care of me really well, and I'm very grateful for both of them. Very grateful. And another guy I want to mention is his name's Bruce Pyfrom, and he doesn't do Instagram. He does my seats. Like, I'll do all the foam and everything else, but my seats are really little. There's no frills. He always wants to do something like, let me show everybody what I can do. And I never let him do anything that he wants to do. Like, I like a bare bones, black, no frills, no lines, no flames, no anything. Just the seat I like it all to work together. Nothing taking away from anyone else. It all just one package. My name's Johnny Humphrey from Terre Haute, Pennsylvania. I have Johnny 99 Customs. We're out here with Cycle Source Magazine at the St. Louis Cycle Showcase show from Randall Knowledge, and you're watching Shop Talk.
The only thing standing between you and the open road is some garage time with the right parts and accessories to make your motorcycle roar. And that's why riders everywhere choose DennisKirk.com, the one stop you need to get your Harley back on the road. Our knowledgeable tech staff will help you navigate our more than 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories that are ready to ship today, with free shipping on all orders over $89. So tune up your ride and get ready for the next adventure. Ride more, wait less. Dennis Kirk.
Hey, this is Reynold Nolge with Cycle Showcase STL, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Whether riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. Our guest tonight put up a video of this motorcycle that he built for Born Free, and to tell you that it broke the internet is a huge understatement. My favorite thing about this is, like, you know, I talk all the time about how some of these young guys are really pushing the boundaries anymore. My favorite thing about this is the sound that this motorcycle makes when it starts with this unique starting system he has. It really puts you in the mindset of the old
anticipation.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, it's crazy.
The uniqueness of it, just hands down.
So obviously I'm talking about Sean Axtion Jackson from Competition Distributing, and lucky enough to have him on here on his way to Born Free. Probably one of the most talented builders, craftsmen, fabricators that's out there today. We're going to spend some time with him, get him on the line here and talk to him real quick on Shop Talk. Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth. East Coast in the house.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
It's a different day. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really a pleasure to have you here, and I'm super stoked for you. I can't wait to see what things come out of this for you, because, man, I see that it wasn't long after you came out with something as cool as this where other people were trying to figure out how to match that, right?
Yeah. I was actually kind of overwhelmed by how popular the whole inertia starter thing was. It was never an attempt to obviously break the internet or anything. It was kind of a thing like, hey, can we do it and see if it'll work? And obviously we got it to work, and the after effect was just absolutely out of control. I mean, like, holy cow, people really went crazy over it. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, what was your? You said the one video that you put up. You told me the hit count that it had. What was your hit count?
Oh yeah. So in that video you guys just showed, it was the first video that we released at the starter. It was like the very first time we actually tried it and it worked. My buddy Kevin that helped me build the bike, he's videoing from the other side. His point of view from his phone, he posted that video on his Instagram page, and it's at like 39 million views right now.
Wow.
It was like, yeah, I mean, just out of control. 39 million views, like 800 some thousand likes. The comments were just crazy, just thousands and thousands of comments. We couldn't even, he started trying to answer, and I'm like, dude, there's no way you can answer all these. It's like, just let it go.
Well, and couple people up here, Professional Monkey says, I think it's because there's nothing we haven't seen before, then something new, pow, and like everybody, right. Chad Hudson, this man's definitely ahead of his time. Like everybody's giving you mad props, but really, man, the starter is one of the coolest things, and it's something a lot of us have never seen before. But really, when you look at this motorcycle from front to back, like every single part of it, dude, is just
unique,
absolutely over the top.
Yeah, it kind of all just spitballed how it went. Once we found out we got into the Biltwell People's Champ competition, I had the whole inertia starter idea in my head for a while, and we obviously had to start there because you have to design the entire bike around that one component. because it takes up so much space. So once we started there, obviously I was going to go with the original like 2-frame chassis, and then one day I was scouring the internet, just like looking for inspiration, getting some ideas, that kind of thing. And believe it or not, I come across like a laser cut plate frame chair, and I saw this chair and I sent it to my buddy.
Oh boy!
A stainless plate, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's kind of happened. And then as we went along the design process, and we just kept plugging away, I just kept throwing more and more stuff at it. And we're trying to come up with, hey, let's just keep doing stuff that we haven't seen, or we don't know if it's been done, that kind of thing. So we just keep trying to add more and more to it, and that's how it came out.
Yeah. No, it's definitely sick, and I'll be one of the first. I'm a traditional chopper guy, and I'll be one of the first to admit, like, when we were up there way early on and checking it out, and I was looking at the frame, and you were still in the early stages of getting it all together. It didn't even have the motor that you were using in it or anything, and I was like, I couldn't really see it, and to see that thing the way it came together, and isn't that usually like the way the best bikes are too? Like you can't see it a piece at a time until you get that overall look of what it is all together, and that's
everything complements each other.
Yeah, and I will say, like this build in particular, I obviously had an idea in my head, as we went along here, what I really wanted to turn out like, and this one was I really was fighting with some design things, like the biggest challenge for me was the gas tanks. I couldn't just come to terms with the gas tanks. Like, I hated everything that I came up with. And there was a few different designs there. And as I was building the tanks, and I kept throwing different ones on, I'd send pictures to, my look like, no, don't do that. I would reach out to, DP. I'd be like, hey man, what do you think? He's like, oh, I don't know about that. And, it's just like trying to just get some guidance, and I just kept going along and along. And finally, we came up with those tanks you see there. I said, you know what, screw it. I just went for it. And then I threw them together, and I think I had them roughly mocked up in it was like a day's time. Got on the bike and I took some shots of it. When you see the tanks on the frame for the first time, because the frame's being all flat, we wanted to add something, with contrast, curvature, that kind of thing. So it wasn't just a flat plate, everything, like an early gas tank on the Harleys and stuff that we used to, we run now. It really came together. And then once, my buddy Brian, Kevin's brother, Brian O'Neill, Woods Goods, he painted it. And once he got that paint back, and I threw those tanks on the frame, I was just like, oh my God. I was so excited. It just really set it off for me.
It really does. And it's gotta be a kind of the right design to be able to pull off a tank with a curve like
unique
that.
Yet traditional.
Yeah.
It sort of
and
brought
that
it
was
back.
like
I think it sort of brought it back to looking like a bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were so
right.
Mad Maxy, off the chart, super cool.
Yeah, and the tank
sort of brought it back.
I agree. Man.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole thing. Like the bike really came together once we put the tanks on. And the front end, I wanted to try to keep as much as the old styling, like the 30s, the 40s, that kind of stuff. I wanted to try to blend the two together. Like I wanted old and new. And pay homage to some of the stuff that obviously competition, or with the stuff that we build and the stuff that we partake in. I wanted to try to take some of that styling into it. Like the bars, those bars are a straight rip off of like the Hill Climber, the 30s DAH Hill Climbers. The same with the front end. We just made a bigger version of that. It's the trailing link front end and the buckhorn style bars. I made those to fit that whole style, and I really think it complements the tanks and everything really well.
Yeah, it really, really does. Really, everything just came together perfect, man. And that's a sign of somebody that's really accomplished in doing this stuff. Being able to look look down the road and see that finished product when you're working these things out. That's incredible.
So I have a question. Now, Chris, I usually run to the hardware store for you and get all your hardware. Did you have to take out stock to put that frame together?
Yeah, so there's kind of a joke on that whole thing. So, when we first set out on this journey, obviously we weld mostly everything we do.
Right.
And that the frame was going to be no different. We were gonna model, design the frame, and weld the frame together, even being plate. And I was really going for the industrial look, and I wanted this bike to be extremely mechanical because I'm like a huge mechanical nerd. I love anything that you can see moving, external parts, all kind of components, that kind of thing. So, being that way, Kevin reached out and he goes, "Hey, why don't we bolt this thing together?" And I said, first thing that popped into my head is that's going to be a lot of bolts.
Yep.
So I was like, that's kind of crazy. But, we ended up going that route because obviously we thought it would add to the aesthetics of the whole bike.
It absolutely does. I don't think the bike would necessarily be as appealing and eye-catching if you hadn't have gone that route. It's incredible.
Well, yeah, and it obviously it took a ton of hardware to put it together, and it made my life an absolute living hell. It just literally, because I had to mock that frame up multiple times. All those spacers you see in between, those are all hand sat and polished. I went through and polished every one of those, and then all the hardware, a lot of it didn't fit correctly, so I had to modify each individual piece of machine, spacers, measure everything. I have a ton of time just into putting the frame together alone.
That is absolutely a passion project without a doubt.
Yeah, it was a lot of long nights, but I don't, I'm extremely lucky. Even me sitting here with you guys talking about the bike, it makes everything worth it. At the end, all the long nights, all that thing, and just the people's reactions on it. It's humbling, because I've been wanting to do this ever since I was a little kid, watching all the greats guys that came before us that did the Discovery Biker build-offs and all that stuff. That inspired me when I was a kid. So just being able to do this and take this stuff on is just it's a dream come true. So
how many times did you said you mocked it up a few times? Did you have trouble? Did you have to recut anything? I mean, it seems to me like that would have been a massive undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple times I mocked it, I actually didn't do it with every single piece of hardware. I did kind of a rough mock-up. I had to go through and do some bending and some changing of a few things. I had to modify a few of the components that tie the back end of the frame together, because in the rear portion of the frame, there's actually a third member of the frame that Kevin designed that we added rigidity to the whole rear section. So I had to go through and change a couple of things there and modify some spacers and stuff. But I mean, overall, it wasn't like crazy change or anything. It was just a lot of time, time to fit and finish. And then like the worst part of the whole frame was final assembly, because I had to go through and I couldn't skip any, cut any corners or anything. And obviously the entire bike is stainless steel. So anything that's not stainless steel is aluminum, polished aluminum, or nickel plated. So being stainless, I wanted to polish everything up. So the frame is all polished, and I had to do that and sand everything down. And that was like 9 steps of sanding. And then I had to, to get it to a mirror buff finish, I had to do, 3 different coats on the wheel of the mirror buffer. And that was a pain because I had to do it by hand, because you can't really hold a whole frame in a buffing wheel. So, that was like a whole day. I think it was like 13 hours just one day, just buffing the frame. And by the time I was done, I wanted to cry. It was a painful day. I looked like a coal miner coming out of I was outside with a mask and everything on it. It didn't look like I had anything on it. It was crazy. But
so you're saying you can't wait to do it again, right?
Yeah, I already got the next bike in my head, and it's not going to be a plate frame, I'll tell you that.
Dude, and listen, me and Mark are only laughing at you because we understand so much. I mean, And Johnny 99, whose
yeah.
bike was just on, I can remember when Johnny was doing the rocker boxes for that particular bike.
Yeah, me too.
He wanted to cry. He was
Dude.
like, "Good Lord, what have I done?"
Oh, and the worst part
it,
is,
like-
I was so mean to Johnny. I actually had to call Johnny and apologize when he was doing this.
And when you get into like a project like that, or if you have your mind made up, like this is what you have to do, there's no turning back. So you're just constantly reminded about the bad decision you made until it's finished.
And that's the worst part, when you realize that you've buried yourself so deep, there's no coming out.
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
no turning back.
Yeah, you have to go the whole way.
Mine was this
Right.
year. Mine was this year doing those slip fixtures on that Panhead frame that I thought surely I'm going to be able to pick one of the 7,000 tools I have and be able to smooth out those welds on the end of those fixtures. And it came down to me and four different hand files that I sat there on 8. I'm like, why did I put 8 of them? Why 8 of them? Why? I could have done this in 3, The fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
So 2 basic questions, and I'm sure you know the answer to at least one of them. How many bolts are holding the frame together?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know the exact number.
No?
I can tell you it's probably well over 400 because inside and outside, there's a lot of bolts you can't see. So it's I'm probably it's like 380 something, 400.
Wow. And if you had to guesstimate how many hours you had into this incredible machine, because it is incredible, like between the engineering and aesthetic and everything, it's got to be I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, it's a ton of hours, but I will say, so we have a tight deadline on this. So from the time that we find out that you're in the competition to our deadline, our absolute date where the bike has to run, go down the road, be ready for photos for the competition, we have about 7 months, and that's roughly putting it. So, from the day that I found out I was in to the day I was running, we have literally, luckily, 7 months, at the long end. And I will say, there's no way I could have pulled this off without a team effort. Just the amount of work and the amount of time. Kevin, obviously he does all of my CAD modeling and stuff. He's a big design guy. I worked with him in my previous career. And then the motor, that was a whole pile of crap that I could literally talk an entire show about how bad the motor was. And George Banks and Gary Ellis, you see in the picture there, they pulled off an absolute miracle, this thing, because that's a 48 Panhead that George and I and Tom actually pulled out of a garage in Florida a year ago, which is really cool. Like, I finished the bike almost a year later from the day I actually bought that motor.
Oh, wow.
And it was just it was an absolute pile. But it was okay because I got it for such a good price. But still, it was just the amount of work these guys had to do. I mean, I felt so bad for them because, we wanted to keep this entire build in our crew, our, as Tom calls it, our gang.
The Conneaut gang, right?
yeah, exactly. We always joke about the Conneaut gang, and we're a bunch of country bumpkins, that kind of thing. But we're always showing Tom our abilities and stuff, so we kind of laugh about it. It's a kind of a funny thing. But
I'm supposed to ask you about these float bowls. Rob Nussbaum says ask him about the float bowls.
Oh yeah, so the float bowls, we made those. Those are actually 3D printed out of a hard heat-resistant resin. And we've been testing them on and off here for the last probably about 3 months now. We're still doing some different coatings and stuff to get them dialed in to work exactly how I want them, but we've made up quite a bit of them so far. That's one of the things we 3D printed on the bike. I have dual carbs on this bike, and you can see in that picture, that's a intake manifold. That entire intake manifold is designed and made by us in-house here. Wow. That's a 3D printed aluminum intake. We wanted to be extremely belligerent with the carburetors. We wanted them to stick out and kind of be the focal point of the whole motor. And, you can see there, those are linkarts, obviously, but there's a linkert on each side, and they wrap around the front of the heads that point forward there. And we just wanted the whole bike to be kind of like, every time you look at it, you had to stare at something else to see something else,
I thought I had a damn picture right here that you could see both carburetors.
So
It's
I have
cool
a
as
question. Obviously, just from the picture of the interview here, it reminds me a lot of Chris's garage at one point. The whole upper rim of Chris's garage used to be lined with Jack Daniels and whiskey bottles. in a monetary factor, how much alcohol did this bike cost you?
Actually, it's all for show. I don't really drink as much as I used to because I'm so damn busy all the time. I would never get anything done. But I have a full bar in my garage. Being in Pennsylvania, as you guys can attest to, our weather's about absolute crap 7 months out of the year. So you have to have some kind of other hobby besides just, working on motorcycles. So
Yes.
we got to have a bar, somewhere to escape to.
Drinking gets it. Drinking gets it done.
Yes.
Hey, so listen, real quick, man. I want you to tell everybody about, for people that don't know what Biltwell's People's Champ is at Born Free. Tell everybody about that and how it actually works.
Okay, so Biltwell's People's Champ is it's the show the day before Born Free starts, and it's still tied. Like, they obviously work close and hand in hand with all the Grant and them guys from Born Free, but it's actually the Friday before Born Free, which is June 23rd. The competition, it starts with 200 applicants roughly. And then what they do is the Biltwell team goes through and they pick the top 20 guys that they feel they can build a bike and bring it all the way through the competition. Midway through the competition, it gets voted by the people to the top 6, and obviously that's where we're at now. We're in the top 6. Anybody can vote. You go on to Biltwell's website, BiltwellsPeoplesChamp.com. They have the heading you see here. And you can go on and you can vote for the person you want to, win the competition out of the top 6. And, the voting will start on that. I believe it's the 19th. It's open for 4 days prior to the show.
Huh.
So voting is the 20th to the 23rd. And everybody that's watching this has got to remember to go vote. We're going to send out reminders.
Where is the link on here for the vote?
It's not up yet because the vote won't go live until the 20th.
So we're gonna get super active on that as soon as the vote comes live.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that for the support, guys. Obviously everybody that's in this puts a ton of work into their bikes. We're trying our best to bring home a win here. We tried to build something that you don't see every day, and I think we did a pretty good job of that. So We're pretty excited to see what everybody's going to do here.
Well, not to take away anything from anybody else, but at the same time, you're trying to build this, truly unique, one-of-a-kind motorcycle. You've helped launch and reorganize competition distributing. You're the one of the power trio behind everything that goes on with the Banks brother team for Sons of Speed, for Cannonball,
the Chase.
Yeah, I mean, so you got a lot of moving parts that you're involved in there, man. While you're trying to build a motorcycle to be one of the best in the country, right?
Yeah, it's a lot sometimes, and it comes a little stressful. But at the end of the day, I always have to remind myself that it's a blessing to be here, and motorcycles, for me, just like all you guys, I know you all feel the same way, but it's like, it's not even a job at all. It's literally like, it's what I love to do. It's what we all love to do. And I'm like super blessed that I can even do this stuff, so right even on the bad days, they're good. It's better than the worst day, the good days are somewhere else, so it's just an honor to be able to do this stuff.
So Professional Monkey says he's in to promote this. Happy to help out too.
Awesome.
All of you guys, we're counting on everybody here in Shop Talk Nation to get involved, support our East Coast brother here. Before we get into the second part of this, I want to talk to you about competition distributing, and we're actually going to roll our clip from this week's program, Shop Hoppin. So on the other side of this, we're going to come back and talk to you for a little bit about competition distributing. Don't go anywhere. Sit tight. You're watching Shop Talk. All right, man. So, hey, here we are, Chris from Cycle Source Magazine, and we are standing in the middle of competition distributing here with Mr. Tom Banks and Sean Jackson. December 22, you guys started developing this, but I want you to talk about that a little bit, because this is not like, you know, buying shares in Google or something where you can say this is a solid investment. This was going to be an investment for years to turn a lot of this around and really start seeing something. So it comes down to passion for you.
Well, you know, the funny thing is I had got a call, you know, the competition was coming up for sale. I wasn't really interested, okay? And Sean's like, oh yeah, I get it, you know. It was right up our alley for what we loved, for what we were doing. Aside from just the fact that we love old motorcycles, we raced in the Cannonball, we raced in the Chase, we raced in the Sons of Speed. You know, it seemed like a perfect mesh for us, you know. And again, you know, Sean was the real driving force there.
All right, so this is some of our inventory here. We have over about a little around 730 some part numbers, and we're constantly adding parts every day, every week. We're always, you know, restocking stuff, bringing a bunch more stuff in. But we do a lot of engine parts, engine components, that kind of thing. So like we have bearing races here, bushings, roller bearings for bottom ends, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's a bulk of our inventory is actual motor parts. Bushings for front ends, so you can rebuild your entire front end, Springer front end stuff. We actually have the tubes themselves. Here's some more motor components here. These are your push rod valve, exhaust valve covers actually, but we make all this stuff. This is all made here in the USA.
Many times you find yourself in shops like this and you're surrounded by show pieces and you beat the dog shit out of your bikes. Man, I've been on you have no problem riding a motorcycle.
Really, the future's all right here. You know, Sean's the one that's really the driving force now that determines, he determines the direction more than I do. You know, I'm more on the financial side of it. We had to kind of shore up what was going on. You know, we had 700 items on our catalog, but really at the end of the day, we only had maybe 100 of those items, huh, Sean?
This is a bunch of our small stuff here. So like these little things here, this is stuff that you can't really find anywhere. So this is a light bracket, okay? This is for a Corbin Speedo. This is one of our big sellers now. This is one of our newer products. This is our offset rockers. And these add horsepower to your JD. So these will go from a 15 to a 29 J model.
The Cannonball's been back in since 2010.
So 2010. So we're looking at 14 years coming up here, or 13 years. You know, by the time they do the next one, Sons of Speed. You know, we're starting to see more and more of these things that are giving people a platform to do this on with old bikes.
This is probably our #1 seller is throttle cables. We sell tons and tons of these. So these are throttle and your advanced retard spark control cables.
Really grateful for a large part of this industry that needs this stuff, you know, and it continues the bloodline. So you guys are doing awesome work here. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes and talking to us about it.
Anytime. I can't thank you enough for coming
That's
up.
Awesome. So go check them out today on their website, on social media, or get out to Sons of Speed and see this stuff live. If you smell these motorcycles going by, if you hear the rumble, man, it's infectious. You're never going to want to leave. You're going to want to build one of these bikes, and you're going to want to come here to get some parts to make it go fast.
That's right.
Okay, so real quick, shameless plug time.
You'll be able to see the full feature on Grease and Gears TV.
You know, once Grease and Gears TV launches, you'll be able to watch the whole thing here. That was just a small piece. We had a great night with them.
What I caught out of that was that Tom was sort of dumping all the blame on you. I'm sort of thinking Tom was like,
yeah, man,
it's all his fault.
If the shit hits the fan, Sean, you're on the hook.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm used to it.
So let's talk for a minute about competition distributing. But for a lot of our viewers, they're probably not going to know the history of that company or anything. So let's go back to the beginning of that for a second.
Yeah, so competition distributing, it's nothing new. You know, it's been around for quite a while. So Lonnie Ism started competition in 1969. And, he took it from his love and his passion of antique motorcycles, and he turned it into, the business it is today. And, his son, Lonnie Ism Jr., they as he got older, they ran the company together, and they did a lot of stuff. Lonnie Ism Jr. actually ended up getting sick and passing away, way before his time. And I think it kind of, took the wind out of the sails, so to speak, from Lonnie Sr. And, it let him realize that, he was going to sell the company. So that's what you heard in that clip there about Tom saying about getting a phone call. And actually, Rob Nussbaum was the one that called Tom and was like, hey, you guys should look into this. So, Rob, if you're watching, thanks a lot for doing that, obviously.
So we can blame a lot of this on Rob then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, actually,
because we blame a lot of stuff on Rob.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah, you can put it all on Rob. Everything.
So I have to tell you, I just finished editing the full length video today, and my favorite part was he tells a story, Mark, in the middle of this where he's They bring the whole company, because the company was based out of South Dakota.
Yeah. And
they bring the whole company back to Pennsylvania in 2 trucks, and I think it was over 25,000 pounds per truck.
Ooh.
And everybody parks the trucks and says, "Okay, we all got to split," and they leave. and that nothing organized, nothing unloaded, and there he is for the next Christ knows how long.
So is that better or worse than leaving you with a 15-year-old?
I'm
just curious.
Let's not get into that on air right now.
Oh boy.
I did that too.
No,
yeah.
That's pretty much how it went. The whole story's kind of crazy. So we decided, we're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go out to South Dakota. It's George and I and Tom. And we just got in the van. We drove out there, and it's middle of winter time. It's like, November. It was freezing cold and snowing and everything else. And we just load this entire company up. We show up, and we show up with a pretense that Lonnie was going to have everything packed and ready to go on skids for us. That's kind of like where it was going to go. And it was nothing like that at all. Like, all the shelves are up, company's still running. We're like, oh crap, we got to literally tear this entire building down. So there was a few of us. It was Lonnie and I, Tom, George, and one of Lonnie's employees, Andy, and I think a couple other guys came in. And we just started packing all these bins, stacking them on skids, loading the company out, and then I was on the forklift packing these U-Haul trucks full as tight as we could, just shelving every bin, every part, everything we could pack into the truck, And once we got all loaded down, we started looking at the tags on the truck and realizing that, oh man, these things are probably a little heavy, And we're like, okay, so what are we going to do about this? Like, Lonnie literally gave us a tire pressure gauge because we were worried about the tires blowing out on the trucks. That's how heavy these things were. And so we checked the tire pressure and stuff, and Tom actually had to run reconnaissance for us. He went ahead and checked the scales because, we're in these U-Haul trucks, and I actually have a CDL, so I know what I'm doing wrong. Everybody else can play dumb.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, nice part about the U-Haul is you can skip past the scales in a lot of cases.
Yeah, that's kind of what we found out.
Yeah.
But coming right out of Sturgis, as you guys know, like heading back home, there's a scale right there,
Yep,
and of
yep.
course it was open.
Oh.
And so George and I were like, no way we're going to chance this first scale right out of the gate. So we drove way out around and then cut back down on a 90. And we just, booted across. And it was crazy windy, like the whole time we were driving back. And all these semis and stuff were blowing around. And we were so heavy, our trucks were just like not even moving. We're just cruising right down the road, no problem. And we were joking the whole way, like if we would have got pulled over for any reason, like we would have went right to jail because George was overweight by like 10,000 pounds or something like that. And I wasn't too far behind, so it was a crazy experience.
Trying to catch me rolling dirty.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. And so we get back, we literally pull the trucks to the driveway, and those guys are like, "Hey, it was a great trip. We made it." We're all like hugging and stuff, taking pictures, and they're like, "All right, see you guys." So they all just left. And I was like, oh man, now I guess we gotta turn this company on, you know. So luckily I got some good friends. Kevin came over. I have a forklift and stuff. You know, it didn't take us long. We unloaded all the trucks. Tom actually ended up having to go back out again to grab like the remainder shelving and stuff. And then Dan, Cabana Dan there, he actually helped Tom load on that second run. And while Tom was out there doing that, I was staying back here getting the computer set up with my wife Kelsey. That was a complete catastrophe because Lonnie was still stuck in like 1985. We had to update everything, inventory. We had to get it all back online. And Kevin and Brian came over, helped me do inventory. We digitalized everything, put everything in locations, bin locations.
Oh, dude, you guys got to see it when you see the full length video. Everything there is just perfectly organized, and it's all got numbers and like. And as he's sitting there telling this story, you can just see like in his head he's going, "These motherfuckers."
Yeah, it was a massive undertaking right off the bat. And it was extremely stressful. But like I said, it was, you know, once we got it like kind of ironed out and we got all the software issues fixed and stuff, it actually is a pretty smooth running business. Now it's just, you know, a matter of getting the correct parts, fixing some parts, and, you know, adding to our catalog every day. You know, we're always trying to add and bring more value to the company and obviously to our customers and make stuff available that you can't get anywhere else. You know, that's pretty much the end game there.
Yeah. So Tom's on right now, and he actually put the comment up that George's truck was more like 29,000 pounds. A 29,000-pound U-Haul coming down the road in a South Dakota windstorm.
Yeah, those things
beautiful.
They can't get out of their way in the first place. Could you imagine that?
Oh yeah, and they both had Triton, the V10s in them. They were Fords. Yeah, we were really giving them the beans, getting them across country, you know. Nice. And actually, to top it off, George's lights stopped working the one night, and we're in that giant, you know, the world's largest truck stop there.
Yeah,
Highway 80.
Yep. We're in that parking lot, and I'm like laying on the ground in the floor of George's truck trying to change fuses out, getting his lights changed because he's like, "Hey, I don't have lights." You know? Like, we're gonna get pulled over.
Imagine having to call U-Haul and have them drop you off another truck, switch all your shit. Dude, that would have been fantastic.
I think I would have cut and run at that point. I wasn't gonna reload that truck again.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, yep, Tom, I'm out.
I have to say,
I'll see you guys back at the shop.
I have to say the relationship and the bond that you have been able to form with the Banks brothers and that entire team is phenomenal to see from the outside.
Yeah,
you guys
really is.
It's such a family unit that you guys have created, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's so much more than just a business.
Oh yeah, like, you know, I'm a firm believer in, like, you know, certain people come into your life at the right time kind of deal. And, you know, George and Tom, there's absolutely no exception to that. You know, we've known each other for such a short period of time. Mm-hmm. It's only been a little over a couple of years now. And I honestly, I feel like they're actually like literally my family.
Right.
You know, they're some of the greatest people on earth. And even their family, though, they invite me over. I go to their, you know, Kelsey and I would go to their Christmas dinners and, you know, Thanksgiving and stuff over at Tom's mom's place. And, you know, I'm just so lucky to be a part of this with these guys because, I mean, they're some of the nicest people on the planet. They are just really good people. So I'm so lucky I met these guys, you know.
100% agree with you there. They are some of the best humans on the planet. Tom and George both. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to Tom the other day, and you know, reiterating because he's going through a tough time, you know, being broken up from the accident at Sons of Speed, and I was like, hey man, I said, listen, you know, whichever way this is going, you know, everybody needs to cheer Tom on and keep his spirits up because this industry, the motorcycle world, needs Tom Banks.
Yes,
you know, and not because, you know, you might think like his financial involvement, investment.
Oh, right on.
He loves this shit. He loves this shit. We need more people that are so excited about every part of it, and you can see it in everything he's doing, man. Like, when we have the pictures up, whether Tom's out on the track at Sons of Speed or out on Cannonball or working in the garage
Or
doing
on the
stuff
chase,
with you guys.
racing a
Yeah.
twin cam.
He definitely lives it. No questions asked.
Yeah.
He lives it.
Yeah, he puts, Tom puts in more than 110% into everything he does. There's no half-assing with Tom. And, he's a huge inspiration. Like anytime I'm down or, I get into that rut or anything where I'm like starting to doubt something, I always just pick up the phone and talk to Tom because he always pulls me out of it, He's just that guy. And I think he does it for a lot of people and he doesn't even realize it. And he's he's one of the best.
And you said it, that's what makes him special. He does it for a lot of people and doesn't even realize it.
Yep.
This is a guy that he lives a life, he knows what it takes, and sometimes talking people off the ledge is one of the best things that you can do.
Yeah, and he's probably one of the best at it for sure.
There's the comment right there. Tom's spirit reminds me of Dale. Straight up 100% passion. That's a big honor right there.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Listen, so tell everybody where they can keep up with you guys. We have all your social media up here. We're going to pass along the links, but you guys are both for Competition Distributing and for you personally. We have all the Facebook and everything ready for you here.
Yeah, so, Competition Distributing, competition_distributing. That's, we're on Facebook, Instagram. We post pretty much daily, and we always got stories and stuff going on. We do feature bikes and products that we got coming out and all that kind of stuff. We do like weekly emails. Kelsey does all of our emails and social media stuff, so we're always sending out like updates and stuff we got going on, and stuff in the works. All the events we're doing, and then my personal Instagram handle is Axtion Jackson. That's my personal account. I do a lot of like my custom stuff on there, stuff that doesn't really go hand in hand with competition directly. And I keep everybody updated on that as well. So.
Do you have the story on your personal account about how you blew this motorcycle up?
Oh yeah. Oh God. That's like a whole nother show, but yeah, that dang motorcycle, man.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a discouraging one for sure. Put a ton of work into that. I built that for another show last year, the Virginia City Roundup. I was an invited builder. Kevin and I, again, we tackled something, bought a brand new Pan America, adapted it into an 87 FXR chassis, full frame motorcycle. It's a monoshock rear, built the entire swing arm, the lower cross member, changed all electronics, everything. Long story short, 500 miles in, we were actually in Sturgis last August, go to the show for DP and Jody at their paint show. Talking to DP, getting ready to go to the Baker Drive train drags, and I go to start the bike, and it just starts knocking like something's going to blow out the side of the cases. And, it's that noise that every mechanic / builder, whatever, just absolutely dreads. I knew it was bad. We found out after taking it to the dealership that Harley forgot to put some hardware in the engine. It was a first-year model, and I was just the lucky guy that got it, so... Oh. Yeah,
and because you modified it, they wouldn't do anything, right?
Yeah, so obviously we never touched anything in the motor. It was a completely stock electrical system. I didn't modify anything on the engine. It was strictly just an engine swap / build, and the dealer actually was pulling for me. They're like, "Hey, this kid didn't actually touch anything. Like this is straight fault from us,
Yeah.
And they wouldn't help me out, so I ended up having to buy a whole new motor for it. So, but yeah, so it's good to go now. It's got a good 2023 motor.
I would have put a scooter motor in it after that.
Yeah, trust me, there was a lot of things I wanted to do to that bike.
Light it on fire, throw it over a cliff.
Well, yeah, one was park it on Harley's doorstep and just let it burn.
Light it on fire.
I would have parked it on Harley's doorstep inside, the doorstep going into their offices.
Yeah, for just a personal note, I will stick to the old antique stuff from here on out. Yeah. Put it that way.
Well, listen, man, we can't wish you enough good. We're all pulling for you for the People's Champ stuff.
Remember, voting starts the 20th,
and we're gonna bring you guys the links. We're gonna be hard on that, so keep looking for that. Keep looking for everything coming from Competition Distributing. What is the year range that you guys typically serve from parts for that company?
So we do everything in our range is primarily 1910 to 1936, and we dabble in a little bit of other things. Harley Davidson is our primary business, but we also do Henderson, Excelsior, some Flying Merkle parts, and Indian as well. So
right on. And Mark, just so you know, they have one knucklehead part.
One. That's it.
Just one.
Wow.
Actually, we have a couple knucklehead parts. Actually,
Oh.
I sell them once in a while. Those ones are mainly sold on eBay because a lot of people don't really know to come to our website that are newer bikes like that. But
Well, if you ever
we have a few things.
Newer bike.
If you ever need to dust them off, just call Teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to say, hey guys, thanks a lot for having us on, and all the support. You guys go above and beyond, and all the help over here the last couple of weeks. We really appreciate it.
Anything
you
for
guys
you
are the
guys.
best.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything
seriously.
for you guys.
It's that local thing. The local thing, man.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Out here in the
For sure.
724.
The one, the 412, the 724.
Oh, you guys
All
are
right.
so not gangster.
All right,
Right?
We're like that hillbilly mafia.
Yeah. Well, as
Sorry.
Les Nessman would say, the
That
flannel
is not
mafia.
his name.
Yes, it is. Les Nessman.
He's talking about Nussbaum. He calls him Les
Les
Nessman.
Nessman. It fits.
I like that. That fits them pretty well.
All right, man. Well, listen, we'll catch up with you again. Good luck out there, and we'll see you on the other side of the vote.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sean.
right,
Take
buddy.
See
care.
you, Sean.
Yep.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, you're watching Shop Talk. We're rolling into the second hour here. It's a good show tonight. We got lots more coming for you. We're going to start off by checking out some new products. Don't go anywhere. On the other side, Heather is going to do the events. The product spotlight is brought to you by Drag Specialties, the world's largest distributor of aftermarket accessories. Today's product spotlight is on the Twin Peaks 10-inch chrome handlebars. You can almost call these a little mini ape. These bars, designed for today's traditional batwing fairings. They got the forward slope, the perfect wrist angle to not get fatigued while you're riding. Particularly, these will work with both the cable and the throttle by wire. They work with hydraulic clutches. You can also see that they're drilled for internal wiring, and pretty nice addition to your touring motorcycle. Check them out today at DennisKirk.com.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Hey, I'm Ron Fleener.
All right.
From Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, we dropped his
Please Color Factory, you're watching Shop Talk.
Renamed him.
Bikers Info USA, the first bikers app by bikers, for bikers, and it's free. National and state events, Sturgis and Daytona, Bikers Info USA. Every motorcycle manufacturer dealer listed. Biker products for you and your bike. Bikers Info USA. Find the places to go, places to party, places to stay at every event. Bikers Info USA. Download it now. It's free. Bikers Info USA.
So can you imagine this cat like coming home from work if he was in character the whole time? You know what I mean? Like, hey, honey, I had a great day at work today. What'd you do? What's for dinner?
Yeah, I'd stab you.
Professional monkey, I want to party. I like to party.
I like to party.
I like to party.
Dude, so Mark made Rob Nussbaum so mad he actually used the F word.
know,
That's
Rob.
awesome.
Swear jar.
That's awesome.
Oh, jeez. You know, don't be mad, be glad.
Rob, damn voice to text meant to say thank you, Mark. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I like the first one, Rob.
So every time we play the Bikers Info commercial, Professional Monkey goes, bikers, 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 bikers.
Well, now that's over with.
You know what time it is, Heather?
Where do we go from here?
Events?
It's
Events,
event
events,
time.
events.
Events with Heather. It's Events with Heather.
Oh, Mark, punch him.
Shop Talk Events
Punch him,
Calendar
punch
is
him.
brought to you by the Bikers Info app, the Everything Bikers app, all in one place, everything you need, and it's free.
Thunder in the Valley, June 22nd through 25th, 2023 in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. You can get more information at thunderinthevalley.com. Go ahead, sing it. You got to do it.
Born Free.
Bornfreeshow.com, June 24th, 25th. People's Champ, June 23rd, same place. Don't forget to vote. Biltwell People's Champ.
Sean
Vote,
Jackson.
vote, June 20th. Okay, next. 2023 Iowa Hog Drags and Nostalgia Reunion in Humboldt, Iowa. You can check out their Facebook page or scan that handy dandy little QR code.
So listen, we've been putting this event up all this time, and you guys don't even understand like how cool this is.
Yeah.
This
Pete
like
and Jackie Hilgo.
yeah,
That's
and
how cool it is.
Just the bikes, man. The bikes, like you don't think about that era of drag racing, and it's as cool. It's as cool as like when you go to Sons of Speed and you see those bikes doing that thing all these years later. This is the same kind of deal. Like seeing what these guys take out on a track is absolutely awesome. Can't
Very
speak
cool.
well enough about it.
I think we might try and get Jay on here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So he can talk about that and show us some pictures from last year. Easy Times, Worcester.
What's
Bike
this here?
Week at Ralph's Diner. July 8th. That's really hard for me to do. I have to go home for a minute to be able to do it.
Heather, I lost my khakis. Now, what was I talking about there?
7-2
Did I
FOA?
lose the keys to my 7.3 or did I lose my pants?
Doesn't matter.
Anybody?
Ralph's Diner, July 8th. 11 to 6, $5, $100 prize for a chopper wheelie contest.
Hey, Mark, because $5 is $5.
$5.
$5.
I like $5.
Harley Homecoming, July 13th through 16th, 2023 in Milwaukee.
Do you have the
Killer's a little
time?
pissed at us because we're going to be there and see Green Day and she won't, but somebody's going to take care of the dogs. Chopper Show presented by Photocycle and Subalpine, July 15th in Turtle Creek, PA.
Turtle Creek.
Turtle Creek.
Turtle Creek.
Turtle Creek.
Yeah, what they said. Fuel Cleveland it's kind of Cleveland-ish. You can get more information at fuelcleveland.com. They've expanded it to 2 days this year, July 29th and 30th. I think it's at Hale Farm. I don't know what town it is.
Okay, wait a minute. We have a challenge issue here. Rob Nussbaum says, say this in a New Hampshire accent.
Well, I'm from Massachusetts, so
1944, Indian 4.
1944. I can't do it.
1944, Indian 4.
It's FOA. No, it's
FOA.
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 FOWAH.
I said FOA.
FOA.
I've been practicing.
1944. 1940. I can't do it. I do
1944.
not sound like anyone in my family.
1944.
I don't. I go home and I'm like, who are you people? Moving on. Been there, done that.
Boy, it's going to be a fun visit home.
My mom's not watching. She must be mad at me.
Glad I'm not going to be there.
Sturgis. It's on like Donkey Kong. Sunday, August 6th. Oh, I don't have they don't have one yet. Anyway,
Is there
Sunday,
any
August
way-
6th, 2023, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Cycle Source Custom Bike Show. It is a ride-in bike show. It's like the 17th one we've done.
Win this incredible Paco roller.
Yeah,
Paco
Paco's
kills
so
it
good
for
to
us
us.
every year. Best in Show walks away with basically your next year's bike.
Yeah, pretty much. Monday, August 7th, Vintage Motorcycle Day. Bring your vintage or antique motorcycle right into the Iron Horse. We've got a great lunch that we give out and old-time field games. Around 1 o'clock, it's an awesome day if you like old bikes. It's one of my favorite days of the event. Cycle Source Industry Party. This is kind of right, kind of wrong.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
still,
August,
really?
Yeah, I forgot.
What the hell?
Grease and Gears TV has been taking a little extra time. Tuesday, August 8th starts at 7 o'clock in conjunction with the Baker Burnout Drags at the Iron Horse Saloon. Starts at 8. I think we're going to give up a couple $100 to the overall winner. It's heads up bracket racing.
Which means we're giving a couple $100 to
Sea Bear Stunts, maybe? Dude, that kid rolled in last year and
Oh,
it was
he
like,
killed it.
Here, like,
Yep.
just give him the money. Run to the Line, our 17th annual ride through Van Auker Canyon. We make a stop at Nemo Guest Ranch where we have ice cream and we give you a sack lunch and all sorts of good stuff. And that's right after, and I have to say this, Chris gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, I'm proud of you.
Damn it, I didn't get the Good Time soundtrack again.
I'm sorry, my mother. I am watching Simply Choosing to Be Silent, and you can no longer say Worcester correctly. Such a shame.
I've ruined your daughter.
I'm so
She
sorry.
can't
Mom,
say Worcester.
I never could. I never sounded like anybody else. That's why I think maybe I'm adopted. I don't know. I don't talk like you.
You're definitely not adopted.
I know.
Good
I'm so much
times.
like my mother.
Good
Times
times.
Motorcycle Show put on by Chop Machine Cycles at Griffin Hines Farm, August 24th through 26th, 2023. Go.
Professional Monkey thinks he said the wrong dates in this video. Damn, I need to correct. I love that shit doesn't only just happen to me.
Like, I get so excited when, like, real TV screws up. I'm like, did you see that? I rewind it. I record it. So check this out. Chop Machine Cycles, good friends, good supporters. Hopefully we're going to be able to make it there in between the hubbub of Sturgis and Smokeout.
I mean, he's a Dormax guy and all, but
Yeah,
you know,
other than that,
I mean, we're gonna let that
as soon as
go.
we straighten him out with a 7-3.
Yeah, we're gonna let that go right now.
Can I get an amen?
August 25th through 26th, Realities Ride
Right on.
and Rally. This is an incredible event, realitysride.com. They do, we should actually probably try and get him on. They do amazing, amazing work for the children in northern Colorado. They help a lot of foster children, a lot of children that have been neglected and abused and all. Sorry, the comments are distracting me. But anyway, go check them out, realitysride.com. It's a great 2-day event.
Yeah, great people.
It's
Craig, right?
Good people, yep.
Yep.
Good people,
we haven't
amazing
been there for
cause.
a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Labor Day weekend, Four Corners Motorcycle Rally in Durango and Ignacio, Colorado. You can get more information at Four Corners Motorcycle Rally.
Well, say all that fast. Durango and Ignacio, Colorado, Four Corners Rally.
Smokeout, September 7th through 10th, 2023. Rowan County Fairgrounds. It's not gonna suck. I mean, it's not gonna suck. It's gonna be awesome.
There's not gonna be time for it to suck.
Oh my God!
Dude,
listen,
there's so much going on. So much going on.
this right here, the FXR show.
Yes.
So that's a new addition this year. John from Dream Rides is
Mhm.
putting on a thing called The Gathering.
Yep.
An FXR challenge at Smokeout.
The mini bike track, there's an actual track.
Oh, my
like the
God.
whole we went for a site visit and we were like, what?
The Pan family's gonna be off the charts there.
Right? There's like an actual track. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
The Pan Family. That's a good title of a show.
Yeah, right.
Professional
Family
Monkey,
Reunion.
even if it sucks, it's gonna be an awesome
Right.
suck. Oh, Grundle Run, September 15th through 17th, 2023. You can get more information at, I think it's grundlerun.com, or just Google Georgia Grundle Run. The NorCal Chopper Show, September 16th, 2023 at the NorCal,
Go ahead, say it.
what? Waterloo Gun and Bocce Club?
This is a bad idea. I just want to go on record.
Bocce and guns.
I mean,
Nothing wrong with that. The Italians have been doing that for years.
For years.
Who are you kidding? The only thing they're missing is a red sauce, you know?
And NorCalChoppershow.com for more information.
Don't be a hater.
Can we have an event for giant, ugly shovelhead touring bikes?
Sure.
Sure.
I thought that was pretty much every event. There's plenty of ugly shovelhead touring bikes that show up. We are having shovel drags at Smokeout.
Oh, yes. We're going to revive
way.
that, Mark, from Sturgis.
Great. One more thing we have to worry about.
Hey, at least there's no horses this time.
The horses.
You know.
There's horses in North Carolina.
But we're not going to be racing with the horses.
We could get horses.
We're not going to. No.
We could get horses.
No horses, no pigs, no livestock.
She told me we can't do the grease pig.
No.
Well, I didn't grease the pig down, so I don't care.
Dude,
but
so in 2017
like the
at
horses.
BMR, Chris is like, let's do grease pig wrestling.
Professional monkey, I'm asking you to have my back
It was
here.
so traumatic.
No, it wasn't. What do you mean it was traumatic?
For me, it was
for the
traumatic.
pig, it was kind of traumatic for the pig, but the pig was going to market the next day anyway. So
the pig had a blast.
Yes, monkey, you can do that. We love monkeys.
I want the horse. I want the horses, though. I like the horses.
All right,
good
man.
Lord.
So lots.
I think our 90 minutes are up.
Lots going on here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with us, lending us your headspace. We want to thank all of our sponsors up in the corner, way up there, especially Dennis Kirk for leaving the back door of the studio
I
open.
did it right.
You did. You did. So you've been working on that all week. Look at you go, little buddy.
You go, little
I am
trooper.
the tiny acorn.
As far as the rest of us, until we can gather together another 90 to 120 minutes of all this two-wheel bullshit, we'll see you next week. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
See you in Dayton, Felicia.
That's right. We forgot to do the Lead Sled open houses this weekend.
We'd like to thank our
I don't have
sponsors
a
for their
flyer.
continued support.
But it is.
And we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectra Oil, No School Choppers, Motion